2026-13, and of course, it's Tuesday, July 28th, 2020, and it's 7:30 PM. Roll call, please.
Mayor Vorderer.
Present.
Trustee Pembroke. Trustee Oliniechek.
Here.
Trustee Mallow.
Here.
Trustee Stalker.
Here.
Trustee Warren.
Here.
Trustee Sack.
Here.
We have a quorum. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. Veterans, please salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Chief, the Oklahoma Police Department has some awards to present tonight.
Actually, tonight, we'll be recognizing Oaklawn Detective Todd Gross and Worth Detective Joel Frias, if you guys want to step up. So I thought it was fitting to present these tonight with the Fogger security ordinance that's on the agenda tonight, which brings us to the rash of gaming burglaries that basically the entire northern part of the state has been hit with the last couple months. So the Oklahoma Police Department and neighboring jurisdictions investigated a number of gaming burglaries which occurred between December 9th and February 5th. Just My Luck Bar, La Cocina de Mama, #95 Restaurant were three of the Oaklawn locations. Each incident involved several masked offenders smashing the glass at each establishment to gain entry. Once inside, the gaming machines were damaged and a large amount of USC was removed from the machines. Detective Todd Gross was tasked with investigating each of these burglaries. Using multiple law enforcement resources, Detective Gross found similarities between these burglaries and others which occurred in neighboring jurisdictions. Detective Gross contacted Worth Detective Joel Frias, and they coordinated efforts to locate suspects for each of these cases based on vehicles, clothing descriptions, and time, date of occurrence. Jules Johnson, Christopher Carr, Antoine Smith, and Dionus Neely, common spelling, were identified as suspects. Due to their coordinated efforts, they were able to locate and interview each of the suspects. Detective Gross was able to obtain criminal statements from offenders during his interviews based on evidence he produced. After a thorough investigation, Detective Gross obtained enough information to screen each of these cases through the state's attorney's office to obtain the following charges. Dionus Neely, for Just My Luck Bar, burglary, Class 2 felony, theft greater than $10,000, Class 2 felony, criminal damage to property greater than $10,000, Class 3 felony. Christopher Carr, La Cocina de Mama, burglary, Class 2 felony, theft over $500, Class 3 felony, criminal damage to property greater than $10,000, Class 3 felony. Antoine Smith, La Cocina de Mama, burglary, Class 2 felony, and Jules Johnson, La Cocina de Mama, and #95, 2 counts of burglary, Class 2 felony. Due to the coordinated efforts and thorough investigation skills of Detective Gross and Worth Detective Joel Frias, 4 offenders were indicted on these listed charges and a crime spree was brought to a halt. Their professionalism and dedication removed 4 violent offenders from the streets of Oak Lawn. Detective Todd Gross and Detective Joel Frias are most deserving of an Oak Lawn Police Department honorable mention.
Nice job, guys. Move them over, Joe. Where's that guy?
He's gotta be all over this. You left.
For those of you who don't know, Todd usually gets all the big cases, so his nickname around the station is Big Case Todd.
And as the chief mentioned tonight on our agenda, we have a new technology that we'll be approving, and that is called a fogger. When these alarms go off instantaneously, the establishment's filled up with a non-toxic fog, which they tell me you can't see your hand in front of your face, and that's a way of discouraging these criminals, okay, smashing these machines and taking the cash boxes. And as I understand it, those cash boxes often contain quite a bit of money. So our police department has been taxed here quite a bit with trying to resolve these crimes, as you saw tonight. But now we'll have a technology, hopefully, many of our establishments will install it, and we can greatly discourage this scourge that we've experienced here. All right, public comments. Madam Clerk, any public comments tonight?
Yes. The first is Eileen Mikulski. Yes, please.
Good evening, ma'am. Are you an Oak Lawn resident?
I was born in Oak Lawn.
Oh, you lucky town, huh? Me too. I was born here too. Yes,
Okay.
long time ago. I'm not going to tell you my age.
Well, I'm not either.
Okay.
Okay. I just wrote down the 4 things that I'm concerned about.
All right, you have 3 minutes to get them out.
Got it. I'll get it done in a minute.
Okay.
This is regarding Nicor Gas, the repiping area
Mhm.
on Austin Avenue, where I was born and raised. These are my concerns. I never received any notification regarding the details or the changes involved in the project. Number 2, I did not receive dates that the project was set to start in our area. I did not receive what is involved in the digging and repiping from the parkway to the gas meter on my property. I did not receive the name or contact information of the person or persons in charge of the project in case I need to address issues, questions, or concerns. And those are my issues. The whole neighborhood has been to my house complaining of this. They didn't know what was going on with their property. They came in, made big holes. They walked on the property without even notifying who they were, what they were there for. And like I said, the whole neighborhood is concerned.
Well, thank you. Bill, this gas project's been going on for a number of years throughout the village. They're putting in new lines, I understand. But I thought they were making notifications.
Mayor, you're correct. They typically do notify ahead of any work, do tag our resident doors. And ironically, this evening, we actually have a NICOR present. We are going to be discussing actually that project, I think, that she's speaking of. So we have some other problems related.
Mr.
All
Mayor,
right, so if you want to stay around, you can listen to the presentation.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor, could I just add to that?
Sure.
Eileen gave me a call because she was concerned about people coming around her property. I checked with Village, and Bill, you had to go back and research to see what permits were pulled, but we had no notification of any product going on at this time with Nicor in that area, correct?
Correct.
So we had people out just marking what they were going to do. So it's a common theme. I know Nicor is going to be coming to talk about things, but this, along with a project that was started in 2025 and still isn't complete, is something that we've asked in Nicor to be able to update us on and let us know. So I appreciate you coming out tonight.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Do we have any other?
Yes. Bob Hodorowitz? Okay.
Good evening, sir. Are you an Oak Lawn resident?
Yes, I am.
Good.
I know I got 3 minutes, but I got a lot of questions. This is about the Oak Home Building Program. I noticed it's on the agenda today for Q. First, the whole neighborhood, we live on the block. Some of my neighbors are here also. We got a lot of questions. There's a lot of everybody's rumors going around about it and everything else. Went online, couldn't find anything about it from the village. Nothing stating what this program's about. There's all kinds of rumors flying around that I'm trying to get answers on. Is the village going to have a webpage for this explaining what the home program is?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
There's a one-pager being put together right now that includes how it's gonna be marketed and sold. That'll be kind of the soup to nuts, the beginning to the end. That'll be
Okay.
on the website.
My next question is, basically, on the agenda, it's gonna ask for approval for $480,000 today. This house is already under roof. They're doing drywall right now. Why is this just coming the agenda today? I mean, this is much further in the process than going the agenda for today to get approved.
This is a financing mechanism, up to 480 to cover what the anticipated cost of the project gonna be. This project was approved, I think, 2 or 3 meetings ago, yeah, in April. Yeah, this specific project was approved. But the financing mechanisms and the contractor payments all had to be put through our system, and that's what this 480 is.
Okay, there's rumors going around right now. There's a tax break on this. It's gonna be a tax break. Some people are saying 2 years, some people are saying 5 years, some people are saying 10 years.
Yep.
Is that true? Is there gonna be,
It comes with a property tax incentive for 10 years. Gary's not here. It's a 50%, I think, for the first 8, and then a higher percentage, but don't quote me on that, but it is a 10-year period, yeah.
okay, thank you. Who qualifies for this program?
Anybody. It's a market driven. It's going to be for sale for anybody. It's not dedicated to any particular group.
Okay, and it's affordable housing, it's called?
No.
Okay, I seen somewhere it was affordable housing, and that's the rumor going around, it's affordable housing.
No, and to the extent you didn't know the backdrop of it, the state passed this ordinance to allow municipalities to take over properties or to take properties they've been sitting on for a long time and rehabilitate them. So this was, I think, last summer when the state finally put this through and we started researching it. We have about a dozen properties that qualify. Maybe 10 of them are buildable and 2 of them maybe not. But the idea was, and these are the properties that are causing the neighbors like yourselves headaches. I don't know if this particular property ever did for you, but there are several in the village.
Well, we're probably the ones that started the village on this, because
Maybe, yeah.
the owner died.
Yeah.
Sat for years.
Yep.
We were getting rats, we were getting everything else. I have a company, we flip homes.
Yep.
We came to the village and we wanted to flip it. We told the village, oh, it's illegal, it's illegal, it's illegal. Kept coming back, asking about it. Okay, it's illegal. Never got a call back on it. I know some other,
What do you mean you came to the village? Who did you speak to the village?
somebody up on the second floor, I forgot his name, but there's somebody up on the second floor we were talking to, right outside the mayor's office there. But we asked about it, never heard a word about it. Got torn down. We came back, asked about, how do we purchase the land? Never heard a word about it.
Again, I'm gonna ask you who you asked, because, I mean, I didn't hear anything.
I could get your name.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we got his
Yeah.
card, we just didn't look it up. But I know there's other people here that also asked about purchasing the land too.
The 3 minutes are up. Sorry.
Well, thank you, sir.
And I'll just, again, to the extent you're concerned, it's market-driven. If people, we have properties that we've sat on for years as well, and we're happy to sell those as well. These are properties that have not sold, that have not been marketable. As I said, I can't tell you that had you come to me, we'd say, oh, yeah, we'll sell it to you, but this is the first time hearing that you had any interest in the property.
I'm not the only one one of the neighbors also mentioned that they had somebody go to the village and say they'd like to buy the land too, build a house too.
As I said, the best thing to do is find out who that is, and we'll look into that.
Definitely get you his
Yeah.
name. We got his card at home, but
Okay.
we didn't have time to dig it out.
You know, Tom, some of these properties takes 10 years, I think, before they go into receivership, the banks do it, and before we even get our hands anywhere close to it.
And they're on the county tax rolls. County puts it out, tax sale properties, they're out there, they're published every year. So to the extent you're looking to flip properties like that, before we even get them, they're out there for public notice.
Well, we did the research and we found out the bank that owned the lien on the property. We went to them and they said, we told them, the guy died 2 years ago. Well, somebody's still paying on this lien, so they weren't concerned about it.
Yeah.
And then after that, it just sat and sat, so we came to the village. We said, the grass is getting too high. We called the family members. They don't want nothing to do with it. So we came to the village and we started with the village. And that's how this particular property got involved with the village.
Well, I hope the good news is you're gonna have a nice house on the block at the end of the day, yeah. I mean,
But we heard it was affordable and
no, it's gonna be market rate. And, you know, again, the village has we hope, a nice construct together that's gonna protect us on the downside if the market corrects. and also not overpay a general contractor. We tried to find a general contractor to do that, couldn't find any, so we encouraged former trustee Desmond to step down and take the lead on that, which, knock on wood, it's our first one. It's progressing reasonably well, like you said. I mean, you probably see it every day, but we heard that they're doing drywall now, so it's probably a matter of weeks.
Right, yeah, I find it hard to believe you couldn't put it out for bid for general contractor, so.
You can trust me on that. We talked to maybe 5, because what we were saying is we want to partner with that. The village wants to participate if there's a profit, and all of them said, we're in or we're out. And that's the,
Like I said, there's a lot of rumors going around.
yeah.
I just want to clear some.
Well, if you want to send me an email or reach out to me, I'd be happy to help, or others, copy them in there, and we'll address all your questions.
I did make phone calls and left voice messages, and I never got a call back, even asking about a webpage or how do we find anything out about.
Who did you
this.
call?
I'm sorry, again, I didn't write their names.
Okay.
Either call the
Have to
village
move on to the
or
next
call me.
speaker.
You were my next call, but
I have never not responded to a request, even the silly ones. I always take everyone serious.
this was a couple days ago, and I seen the meeting was coming up. I told my wife, we'll just come to the meeting and discuss it. We went to the neighbors, and some of our neighbors are here already, because everybody's got concerns about it. Nobody's getting any answers, so.
Sue, would you like to come up and speak?
Hi, are you an Oak Lawn resident?
With that man.
If it wasn't obvious.
So we weren't sure that he had enough time. So the question is, when you say that you were looking for a contractor, like, how did you do that?
We contacted at least 4 contractors who build residential homes. And we also are under the prevailing wage, so it's kind of makes it difficult because that requires basically union-like wages to build residential homes. And there are very few, if any, that do residential homes, union builders. So then we cobbled together all of the trade unions to see who could participate, who couldn't, and many of them didn't even show any interest. So at that point, we reached out to a couple of general contractors who built homes who were able to pay union prevailing wage and said, here's the construct. And the construct is we pay 5% of the labor and materials and then participate in the profit to the extent there is any. And that scared basically all of them away because it was a lot of risk from their perspective for the time they invest, and it's a fair statement to make for not a guaranteed reward. So they were basically saying, we will take the program, but we want full profit, full expense. And we reluctantly said, we don't want to do that at this point. It dragged down for probably 6 months. And then we were able to convince Trustee Desmond to try this. And it's
Well,
only.
he's a home builder.
Yeah, he's built, I think he's the second between, I think Flaherty. He's built 22 homes in Oak Lawn, so he has a knowledge base about it. And he's only committed to doing one of them to see if it works. So that's kind of how it all launched.
Okay, and then you did say, well, you didn't say, but it's in the notes, 480. So how much was the land and the liens? Do you have that information?
The 480 is what we've approved to construct the home.
Right.
Yeah, I don't have what we,
The land and the liens had to be
Yeah.
about 100, probably 150.
I don't know exactly, so, yeah.
So that's putting us pretty high. The house probably gonna go 600, 700.
Yeah, that's what I say, we're not expecting to make a killing on it. That's the
Right.
risk that we're trying to mitigate. And if the market corrects, we might be looking at a loss. And that was,
So if that's the case, why would you need a tax break? My house isn't worth that, and I gotta pay.
State does
it's
that.
not our rule, it's the state rule. The state came up with this policy to encourage and to protect against the downside.
So who pays their portion? Nobody?
No, they pay a discounted rate. Whoever buys the house has an understanding they get a discount on their taxes for 10 years, which will likely lead to probably a higher purchase price, right? Someone's willing to overpay versus another one that doesn't have that.
Right.
And the idea is, the alternative is leaving a rat-infested property there or a property that's causing people all kinds of problems. It's kind of
Right.
the lesser of the two evils. I mean, I understand my sister-in-law is probably as adamant as you. She's like, I hate this idea. Why do I have to pay my taxes, but somebody doesn't?
As
It's a fair
someone that
point.
can afford it is
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna be mid to lower income, which would have been giving somebody a chance to get a home, which I would have rather have had. Right now, there's so many families that can't afford the 6% interest. The 3% a couple years ago was great. You could get in maybe 300, 400, but it's too tight. And now you're putting it at 7.
Sue, I'm sorry, the
Specific-
time is up.
It'll be specific to the neighborhoods, not all of them. I mean, yours is a particularly nice block. And again, we don't know what the market's going to be. We know there were some homes that sold in the area for a high number. Other properties in the village are not gonna sell nearly as much, and we're not gonna spend nearly as much building them. We're gonna make it suitable to each neighborhood.
More towards families, yeah.
It's definitely geared toward families. I mean, it's not, they're not
Working
ranch one
families that can
levels.
afford it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Do we have any additional public comments?
Yes. Bob, regarding the library display.
Hi, Bob. I know you're an Oak Lawn resident,
Right,
long time.
yeah, 64 years.
Yes.
As I said to Claire about a week and a half ago, when I came from the library, and I mentioned to you, but May was crazy for me. I had done a display on the Indy 500. Well, I've done another one at the library. I asked them if they had something for August. They said no. They said, what would you do for August? Well, what's the biggest thing in August? What did we lose 52 years ago in August? The greatest entertainer that ever lived, Elvis Presley. So outside having a terrific library, I've put together my collection, and it's on display at the library, and I'd like all of you to go see it and give me some kind of feedback as to what you think of it.
Well, thank you, sir. And I'll make a point of doing that
Thank you.
next week. I'm pretty busy this week.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
And Noel and Jimmy Donovan.
Hi, are you an Oak Lawn resident? Good. And are these your children? Oh, I don't hear your names.
Jimmy and Donovan.
Oh, Jimmy and Don. Welcome to the village board meeting. You have something to, good. I want to listen.
I was wondering what you could do for you guys to allow chickens and wait, I'm just trying.
Could you get a little closer to the microphone?
What could we do for you guys to allow chickens? That there is something. I was wondering if you could allow 6 to 4 chickens. I think it's a good idea because you could sell eggs and make money, and no roosters because they're allowed. And I think that's all.
I mean, I can address that. We get that over the years frequently. It
Yes.
comes down, it's a health issue, it's rodent abatement. It really comes down to that, yeah.
I have spoke to some mayors in surrounding communities. Tinley Park, I believe, allows you to have 3, but you need to have like a multi-$1,000 chicken coop, okay, to protect them. And they only have 1 or 2 that do it. And they say it's a little bit of a problem, as the village manager has said. I think the village board really doesn't want to encourage husbandry.
Okay.
But
Thank you.
thank you for coming to the board meeting. Anybody else, Claire?
No, that is all for public comments.
Okay, we'll move on to the Polaris Stormwater Project update. Do we have a representative here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Let me introduce myself. My name's Tim Carter. I'm the project manager and RE for the project. I know some of you. I'm glad to be here. I've also been on a council for Village, and your work is difficult, and I appreciate your time and understand some of the challenges you guys face sitting up behind that podium sometimes. So I appreciate you having me here. And I have a video. Basically, it's about 3 minutes, so I might eclipse my time. I'm not sure if I have a.
You're on the agenda. You can take as long as you want.
So why don't we start the video? We'll watch it. I'll answer some questions. Before we start it, it's aerial photography. We had a couple drone flights that went over the project.
Jerry, can you kill the lights?
A couple of things to kind of keep in mind is that the project was taken, these photos were taken about a month ago, so we've gotten a little bit more done. But if there's anything you guys want to talk about after the video, I'm here to answer your questions, and I'll kind of give you a spiel about where we are with the project, how the budget's looking, and answer questions. So.
Play button.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, I know, that's a lot of pressure.
stormwater storage basin, the project includes new and upgraded storm sewer infrastructure, an underdrain system to help the fields drain more effectively, roadway restoration where sewer work is being completed, and reconstruction of the athletic fields and related site improvements. The project is being completed in partnership with the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago, with the village and MWRD sharing construction costs, and CBEL providing engineering services for project design and construction. Construction is now well underway, and significant progress has been made across several major components of the project. Utility relocation work has advanced, including relocation of gas service mains and replacement of select private gas services where needed. Restoration has also begun in areas affected by utility work, including sidewalk and curb replacement along Kilpatrick Avenue. At Polaris Park, excavation for the future stormwater storage basin continues to be one of the most visible signs of progress. Ongoing work at the park includes earth excavation, hauling, and installation of the underdrain sewer system, which will play an important role in the finished project. Once the basin is complete and the fields are restored, the underdrains will help move water through the field system more efficiently, supporting both the stormwater function of the site and the long-term use of the athletic fields. In addition to the work at Polaris Park, storm sewer improvements are continuing throughout the surrounding area. Crews are preparing for installation of large-diameter storm sewer pipe along 105th Street, east of Kilpatrick Avenue. This pipe installation is a major step in connecting the new storm sewer improvements with the storage basin system and improving how stormwater moves through the project area. Because of the size of the excavation area and the clay soils on site, dust control remains a challenge. The construction team and the village are continuing to evaluate measures to reduce those impacts. The village and project team will continue moving through construction in phases, with a focus on maintaining progress, managing impacts, and delivering a project that will provide meaningful flood reduction benefits for the surrounding neighborhood. As work continues, updated project information will remain available through the project website and future construction communications.
Thanks, Jerry. So I'll talk real quick about schedule and budget. Project is on schedule. We're actually a little bit ahead of schedule, even with some of the dire weather and weather events we've had. Budget, the good news is we are on target for that. We've had a couple extras, but I do anticipate us being right at or really close to being under the final budget. Now, the project is a $15 million undertaking. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of work in an established neighborhood. There have been challenges. I think Bill and his team have been really great to work with. I don't really know of any outstanding issues that have kind of come up or still lingering, so I think we're triaging the project real well. I would like to, kind of thank Bill, because he has always been made available to me and my staff. And, I have a staff of only 2 guys out there, and we're watching somewhere around 30 to 40 construction workers daily, kind of working in the neighborhoods. And like I said, it's a big impact to an established neighborhood, and it's definitely been a little bit of a challenge out there. But I think we've met those challenges pretty well, and I'm really hopeful to see the project to its completion and be on time. We have a substantial completion, which is all the underground and drainage, end of November. And then the fields will be open for business in '27. I think it's June of 2027. So with that, and one other thing. Yesterday we had some real big weather that came through. And as a designer, I kind of get a little nerded out or geeked out when something that is designed functions the way it's supposed to. We had a lot of water yesterday, and a lot of calls came in from private residents to me personally saying, the park is flooding. And, I'm inside kind of laughing because that's what it's
Right.
And I didn't get any of those calls saying, my basement's flooding, my house is ruined, my carpet's ruined, I'm in dire straits. So that's a win for me. It's a win for you guys. And, it's just pure coincidence that I'm here today. We set this up weeks ago, but it's good news, and I'm glad that it's working. So with that, I'm going to open it up, and if anybody has questions or concerns, I'm here for you.
I got a question. How much lower are you reducing the field height?
The field is being dropped 7 feet.
And is that over 90% of the field
It's basically 8.1 acres that we've lowered
of,
of the park.
okay,
Yep.
okay.
And all 3 fields, 3 baseball, or 2 softball, 1 baseball, and 1 football field, everything's unchanged. Nothing's changing in the locations or alignments, or it's all the same.
Okay.
In this recent storm, I saw some photographs on social media where that pond was full. How does that impact? It's not done, but it's filled with water. It was a small lake. I haven't got a chance to go by. I'm assuming it's all drained out of there by
It's
now?
all gone.
Yeah, it's drained.
It's all gone already,
Puddles.
huh?
We haven't final graded yet, Mr. Mayor. The thing is we've got topsoil in there. Topsoil is notoriously sloppy and messy until we get grass established.
Right, I saw some grass starting to grow and you were putting backstops up and.
Yeah, that's just pure time, and it's more weeds than anything.
Yeah,
Real
but I could
grass.
see it's moving along, and when I saw those pictures, I thought, boy, it's not finished yet. I wonder if it damaged anything.
Well, as a matter of fact, we went out and verified some things. Contractor's got some cleaning to do, and that'll be taken care of. Some of the structures got a little soil in them, but we've got it cleaned up.
Yeah, I know this project's been worked on by this board. I think Tom was trustee. You spearheaded the whole drive. To get all the governmental agencies, the school districts on board took a lot of work and a lot of meeting. So I'm proud of the work that we've done to get this done. And I agree with you. As a police officer, when we had those big floods, I'd go to people's houses where their basements were right up to the rafters, and it wasn't clean water. It was raw sewage, and I thought, oh my God, I didn't know the solution at those times, but I think we're solving it, huh?
Yeah, in the area, it will be a lot better for the residents.
And it's the lowest area in the village. You can look from 107th Street to 111th Street, and you can see it must drop 15 feet, and water rolls down to the lowest level, so.
Yeah, Tim, literally the meeting started, the superintendent of 218 sent me a video of the pond and saying, well, at least we know it works, which was nice.
Well, it's good, and like
Yeah.
I said, I'm very excited that it did work, and I didn't doubt it would. But
Yeah.
when you actually see the time and effort that we put in, and then you see it work. It was rewarding.
Was anybody on site when it drained? Did it drain pretty quickly?
It basically took about 7 hours to drain.
Okay.
When I got here this morning at 6, it was a couple puddles out there, but like I said, it's not fine-tuned yet for grading. But on an event like that, it should take about 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
If we get the big rain events where it's 3 inches of rain in less than 2 hours, it could take up to 48 hours to drain. And when I say 48 hours, it's not going to be a lake. It's going to be kind of a slow drain, and it's going to slowly get down, and then you're going to see grass, and it's going to be unplayable for 48 hours.
Right.
I think the bigger picture is if you hadn't gotten this done and we got hit with the exact same type of storm, what would have happened to that neighborhood? And also, Bud, your adjoining neighborhood, because this gives a big relief to that whole area to be able to place the water. That's a big project.
Yep.
Also, Tim, we talked about this. That field was only half full, right? I mean, I went over there. I looked at it. It's my district, so I've been following this every day, talking to Tim and the construction crew almost on a daily basis. And to see it working and, people thought it was full, that was half full. We talked, it was probably 2 inches of rain in 75 minutes or so, somewhere in that area. And that it worked that well, and right now they're only to Kilbourne, right? So this was the water coming out of there that relieved a lot of the water in that immediate area that normally would have been somewhere else. So, and again, we've always been telling people that water will be out of there within 24 hours. Well, half full, and it was probably out in 6 to 8 hours. So it was its first test and it worked exactly how it was supposed to. I got calls and lots of pictures and videos from people in the neighborhood, and I'm like, this is exactly what it's supposed to do. This is what it'll look like in an event like this. So, everybody's doing a great job, and this is going exactly how it's supposed to. So, this is all good. Thanks, Tim.
You bet.
Any other questions?
I had one, Mayor, just regarding the streets. Is that like the last part of the project, or is that even your project, Bill? Is that something you guys are gonna, as far as repair and with the dig out?
So Kilpatrick,
Yeah.
105th Street, from Kilpatrick all the way to Kedvale, that's gonna get redone.
Okay.
As part of this project.
Okay.
We're gonna fix some curbs, we're gonna fix some ADA sidewalks. That's not really the true nature of this project.
Right, for sure, but it's still of a concern for
And it's
those that-
already largely underway. They've already got the binder coat on.
Yeah, I have binder down. I kind of push the contractor because the footprint that they have is very large. It impacts a lot of people. So I've kind of been pushing on them to do things kind of out of schedule, out of sequence. I'm taking a little bit of beating from them, but that's what I do. You know, I'm here to make sure that I'm not getting calls and you guys aren't getting calls because, you know, as you previously some NICOR utility work, it tends to get everybody riled up if there's not good communication.
I will say this, having, as Ralph has said, I mean, I drive and walk that area all the time. I had no concept of how much disruption it was gonna, I mean, it looked like a war zone. And I was astounded we weren't getting more calls, but we did get plenty of people, believe, complimenting the workers out there. The one woman, you know, had a couple of workers help her carry luggage to the car, and I mean, that was just really nice to hear. Yeah.
Not to mention, Tom, they got lakefront property now.
Temporary.
Yeah, temporary lakefront.
48 hours, yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you for the presentation. You're doing a fine job over there. Keep it up.
Yep, you guys need something, the website's active, you know, it's always up every 2 weeks updated, so if you guys need something,
Thank you.
guys know how to get it.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
All right, the 2025 audit presentation by Baker Tully.
NICOR.
NICOR first.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. NICOR, NICOR gas construction main replacement update.
Before they start to do their update, I just want to share with the board and the residents why we asked NICOR to come out. And it's out of a frustration. There's a project that was going on from 89th Street to 93rd between Major and Central that started approximately November of last year. Obviously, going into the wintertime, we didn't expect too much to be done, but we have residents whose sidewalks, driveways, streets, just a lot of torn up property that still needs to be repaired. About springtime, we started to get some calls, and Bill, I talking to the staff, your frustration was not being able to get any updates of where they're at, where they're going, and then some of the information that we got, quite honestly, didn't make sense. Coming into January, February, it was, well, we couldn't do it because of safety reasons, and then they couldn't start doing the sidewalk repairs or asphalt because the plants were closed. That was an email that we got. And then to come to find out that I've got an email from a representative from NICOR saying, well, the project hadn't even been finished yet. And the work was not even being done up until, we didn't see anyone until May, June.
Yes, that's correct.
So work's still not being finished, and one of the contacts at NICOR explained to me, well, we can't take the old line out because the new line's not completely up to date. We've asked for multiple updates from NICOR, and quite honestly, I'm not happy with the responses that I've gotten. I can't speak for the Director of Public Works nor the village manager, but I'm happy that you guys are here now. But you will hear a common theme from residents about how frustrated they are that you're not even communicating with the residents, the people that you're supposed to be letting know that these projects are going on. I got an email yesterday from a resident whose parents are elderly that lived off of 89th, or still live off of 89th and Major, that their sidewalks, and I went and looked in front of their house, completely torn up with no knowledge of when those sidewalks are going to be repaired or replaced. The last update I got from a person that I talked to at NICOR said, well, they're projecting, if everything goes well, the project will be done sometime in November. So hopefully you guys will add some light to this. But my best friend's mother, Mrs. Ritter, lives at 92nd in Parkside. She was out there talking to a representative right at the time that we were talking to NICOR, and the person that was out there hand shoveling the line to go in, which is a contractor of yours, said exactly this, that we were out on another job and they just pulled us off this job to come over here and start doing work here. We weren't supposed to be in this area. So all I'm asking for is, if you forgot about the job, got behind on a job, weren't gonna get the job done within a timely fashion, let us know. And be fair to the residents and the consumers of what they can expect from NICOR moving forward. This second project, when Eileen gave a call, had absolutely no idea that you guys are going into that neighborhood to do any work, nor did the village have any idea. And you can talk to multiple residents, nobody got notified, which is what you're supposed to do. So I'm looking forward to a really good update because I'm really frustrated and concerned with NICOR.
We understand your frustration, and we can appreciate the residents and your frustration, because we know construction is construction. It is disruptive. We get that. You know, we do have a process in place that, you know, I'm sure that if you allow us to go through the presentation, that I think that it will answer a number of your questions. If you have questions after which, I'm sure that we can, you know, provide an answer. If we don't, I'm willing to go back and with some homework. Okay, but we do have, you know, answers for you guys to show you that, you know, our project is ongoing, that the landscaping and paving definitely will be addressed immediately after we have a plan for that. And then we also have the landscaping and paving manager here as well to answer questions and, you know, if they want to talk through process. One of the things that, you know, your resident brought up was they were walking on the yard without identification. Every single NICOR gas employee has a badge. You can ask for their badge, you can call them and call NICOR and say, hey, you know, do they work for NICOR? So please do. If it's an MPL, which is our contractor, correct? Which is MPL, they also have one that looks similar to this, and I think it's red or blue at the top, and then it says NICOR gas. So they should have that on their person. If it is not, then it's definitely in the trunk. And then at the bottom of every single letter, before we put shovel to the ground, we send all of the paperwork to the village. We ask for permits. We have to get permits before we put shovel to the ground, right? Once we do that, then we go out, we do our work, right? Once we do that, before we actually put the shovel to the ground, we send out letters, and then we'll show you that letter that you should have received. And then at the bottom of that letter, it also have the supervisor that is in the field. It also have the young lady that is actually in charge of our landscaping and paving crews, which is Tiffany. So all of that information is on there. So we'll go through this, and then if you guys have any additional questions afterwards, we'll be more than willing to answer.
Pat, are you saying you're mailing the letter?
Yes, we mailed them.
I don't want to go there, but, you know, we're talking the post office here, so why wouldn't it be more sensible to just flyer that, I mean, we're talking a block or two at a time, 40 houses, 20
So
minutes of just dropping or door hanging.
We also provide the letter for you guys to put on your website also. So we do that. And then we also, if, you know, customers, because the type of work that we're doing, we can't just transfer everybody, you know, to that main immediately. We have to knock on their door. We have to make contact with them to schedule the appointment to either replace their meter, exchange their meter, whatever we need to do. So we have to make contact. So that takes us a little time to do that. If they're not responsive, then we have to wait until they actually do so, right? We have to wait until they actually do so. Once they do so, then that's when we're able to switch them over to the new main. And we can't liven up, so we
I
have.
think we can offer our services too. You know, we have some inspectors. I mean, again, if we have some targeted areas like these people who haven't been notified, we can send, especially in the summer, we've got summer help that can put door hangers, put notices, pass the letter out. Because again, if we're relying on a third party, like at the post office, you know, how do we know?
Okay.
You know?
And, yeah, and I appreciate that because it's, you know, sometimes it's hard to get in contact with, you know, customers. We also, because we know that a lot of our customers are on electronic billing, we'll send that letter through the electronic billing also to say, okay, here, you got a notification from NICOR, you know, but you can only send it out. You can't force them to read it,
Some
right?
people check email more frequently than others, some don't check at all. Elderly people maybe don't check it nearly as much as young people.
Yeah.
What they do see is something hanging on their door. That can't be.
Yeah.
Maybe we ought to put that into the process.
So let us go through this, if that's okay. We'll go through our presentation, and then we'll show, you know, where we are, what we're doing, and then we'll, you know, talk about it. Okay?
Jer, can you get the lights again, Jer?
Hello. This is for the first project, not the one off Austin, but 91st and Pulaski. This project, I believe, started a little bit earlier than the one at Austin, still third quarter of the year. This is the newsletter. It goes over the process that we do, cameraing the sewers and everything, and as far as the locates going on before the crews get out there. We have our contractors, NPL, explaining the gas main installation as well as service installation. We have United Meters noted on there as well to notify you that that is the group that will do the meter transfers and the spotting of new gas lines. If they need to move your gas line or if it's going to go in the same place, they have those conversations with the homeowners. And then as well at the bottom, it's got the my contact info as the construction supervisor, and then our landscaping and paving coordinator as well for any landscaping and paving concerns. And then the areas affected are a part of this newsletter that goes out. And like I said, we mail those out. It usually on the mailing too, it says this is not a bill, to try to help notify that it's not a bill, that there's some information in there as well. And then I believe for both this job and this most recent one, I believe Aurelio, my boss, sent over some the copies so they could be put on the website, I believe, to try to help out for Oak Lawn as well. And then I think on the next slide is the site plan scope. So this is where, after the main was all in, this for us coming back in, this is where the service crew has been. In blue is phase 1, is where the crew did their service installations. And then in yellow being phase 2 and green being phase 3. The crew is in phase 3 down in the southeast in that court section. They should be finishing the last services tomorrow, clean up a little bit Thursday.
What streets are these? I can't.
91st and Pulaski is the northeast section, and then it goes down to 93rd Street, 93rd Place, and then to the west is, I believe that's Trip.
I'm talking about a project that's not been done on Central.
That's the next one. There's
Okay.
two that are going on. We were doing this one, and then the one with Austin is the next one. So the crew will be finishing up this area. Our UMI is doing cross ties in the area, and they are 2 to 3 weeks behind them. They said that they haven't had any concerns with getting anything scheduled, so they're moving at a good pace too, and haven't had any holdups as far as getting the meters transferred. So this job, we're looking fully to be retired, and as far as construction goes, done by end of August, early September, and then all of our tickets are coming in. Concrete work is going first, and they are finishing up, I believe, Karloff and Kaminsky. They were on there, and then they will go into phase 3 to do that restoration as our crew is pulling out of there, and then landscaping will come in behind them.
When did this project start?
That I'm not 100% sure. I took over this project for another supervisor who has moved on to a different department. I do believe it was third quarter-ish, like back into third quarter last year. I'm not sure if it was October or if it was September. But they started the main work then. And then I know that they got some paving done before winter hit, and then restoration shut down before they came back for services. We can go to the next one for the other project. This is the project on Austin 87th. That was the newsletter again, with my contact info on there. This project, if you could go back one more slide. Start. This is the north end of the project, 87th Street on the north end, Austin on the west, and Central on the east. Service crews have moved in there as well. They were on phase 1, finishing that up. They've gone down Austin for service work now, currently. So they've completed the digging in the area. United Meters is coming in and should be starting to schedule the cross ties in this area, and restoration tickets will be coming in to start repairing this area. And then phase 2, we're going to go to Central because there was a lot of open cutting in the sidewalks on that area for some sewer issues that we are taking care of. So they're going to do that area and be able to get those restoration tickets in. And then phase 3, they'll be going east and west down the streets, as well as Parkside and Major going north and south in those sections. This one, the crew's been in there about a week now, so we're expecting them another 9 weeks to get all of it, with those restoration tickets coming in as they move through the area, block to block. Are there any questions for construction?
Right.
You'll see my contact info.
I like,
Get all the way down Austin. They stopped right at my house. They didn't go any further and they left.
Where is your house?
9005 Austin. It's right in the center between, so I'm 90th.
Okay.
Still gotta go to 91st Street.
I
They're
believe-
marked that far.
Okay.
To 91st Street. Nothing. I couldn't get anyone to talk. I couldn't get anyone to tell me anything. And we have gotten nothing. I mean, I get my bill right on the day. There's nothing in it. I read it, I look at it, I pay it the same day. Nothing has been said about this.
so I do have some questions going along. So you said that the village was given notification of when this project was gonna start and a letter to put on our website. Bill, did you get any communication?
No, yeah, I was gonna ask the same question.
Okay.
This is very helpful, what you're describing here. I think had you guys come to our board, and showed this type of detail, we would all have a lot better understanding of what's going on. I'm wondering who you're following up with.
And Tom, did you get any communication? So I'm gonna say that I believe that communication never happened.
Okay. Well,
So that's a first major issue. The second major issue is this project started on the central side. And Bernie, when did they start doing? I have a resident that lives right off of the central side. October of 2025. And what type of communication did they give you?
We're working on it. Basically, that's all it said.
But there was no timeline. And then you brought up some concerns to the person here just recently about some safety issues on some cement work that was done.
Yeah, right on the northwest corner of 91st Central, that's where I live. There's a cap on, where your crew came out, they put a slab, one slab there, and they put that gas cap back on top of it. It worked its way loose, and it's cracked on, there's a hole on top, there's a big bolt that goes through there that screws to another part, and it spreads on the holes that cap on it.
And you had a supervisor from NICOR that told you, quote unquote, don't worry about it?
Yeah, see, his name was Brian, I got him on recording, left a message, I was gone that day when he came, and, he said, Bernie, don't worry about that. He said, it's not electrical, but if you ride by there, a kid ride by there right now on his bike, that cap will pop up, the wires are right there.
So I'm not gonna belabor you. You guys didn't do your job. We got ample information that shows you didn't do your job. Communication didn't happen, and we're not getting the communication. Plus, for one strange reason, on the project that you started last year in 2025, October, there was no work physically done once the winter started. We didn't see anyone hit the neighborhood till May, June.
Yeah.
And that was after multiple emails asking for updates, and you guys never once said that, here's where we're going, here's how we're gonna get there. No project timeline or anything. That is the frustration. We deal with a lot of seniors, especially in that neighborhood, and I'm glad that Eileen had enough concern to call me to ask for information about that so we could help protect her, and I told her exactly what you said. If they don't have Commonwealth Edison ID or some type of ID, call 911. But the problem is, the letters that you think were sent out, please prove me wrong and show me that they were sent out, because I guarantee they weren't. You guys need to do your work. And to have a line that's been worked on for almost a year and not have a project timeline finished, unacceptable. So I hope that you guys understand what this means to the village of Oak Lawn. And when you tell me the things that you're going to do that didn't happen, somebody's not telling us the truth here. And maybe it got lost in an email, I don't know. But that did not happen, and it's unacceptable. What we do expect is that as you continue to do these projects, what we can expect by the month, like the gentleman before you, by the month of August, September, October, November, and December. And you know you're not gonna be able to put asphalt down or cement down if you don't get this done by November or December, and we're gonna wait through another winter. Unacceptable. You're regulated by who?
The Illinois Commerce Commission.
ICC. So we as a village, and this is what bothers me the most, the residents come to us thinking that we have some magic power over what you guys do. we have zero. We have no power. And it's not about power, it's about doing the right thing and letting people know what's gonna happen.
All right, I think the,
Can I say one more thing, please? In November, when you guys were out there tearing up the sidewalk by my house, the guy knocked, maybe probably 15, 20 foot branch off my tree about that round. And when I hear him out there, whoa, 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 and I went out there, and the guy said, don't worry about it, we'll come back, we'll trim it up real nice for you. That was in November. They still haven't come back. They're trimming the tree.
Multiple emails and multiple phone calls.
Let us
Still
get
nothing.
information, and then we can.
You have his information. I personally provided it to you multiple times.
Excuse me, I'm sorry. Can we, let's have a conversation
I have the
with this
conversation.
gentleman. Perfect.
I just wanted to double check, 'cause I know you, my inspector was Brian, he reports to me, and I know the first time he went out there to check it, to check the wires, I know that he tried to call you, but I think he went out a second time, did he?
Last Wednesday.
And did he talk to you about, 'cause the concrete that was broken there, we didn't break that concrete, but it damaged the box, so I thought he said that he tried to show you that happened to leave the cone, and when we come to that block, he's gonna break that spot out as well and replace that.
Well,
So
he
it will-
said he was gonna go back to the shop, because he's working in the neighborhood, see if he could find a new one and put it. He never came back.
He came to me and told me that it's an older one and it has to be replaced. I don't know, did he tell you that it needed to be replaced or no?
The what?
Did he tell you that it needed to be replaced and he was gonna have to break it out?
Yeah, because there's a big hole in the middle of the,
Yeah.
with the cast iron cap that's on there.
It's an older, ETC box, not, our newer ones are a different size, so the cap doesn't fit. That area, he's gonna go back, when we get to that block, we're gonna break that up, and they're gonna replace the entire ETC box, so that way it will be flush.
And I had a big cone out there for 2 weeks right on the sidewalk, so kids would not run over and knock the cap off. And he just put it on my porch when I was gone. I came back, it was on the porch. He said, don't worry about it. I said, what about those kids come by and they see the wires underneath there? That's scary, you know?
Okay, I'll check in with.
And then
him
on
about
top of that, the cement work that you guys done, it's the sloppiest I've ever seen in my life. They got the they've got cement slop all over the other parts of the sidewalk there. Looks terrible. You can't get that stuff off.
So can we set up a meeting so we can go over a timeline and possibly get some resolution to this, along with a finish date?
Yes.
Along with a finish date? Let staff know, which they've been dying for. Bill?
Yeah, guys, I would appreciate, I don't, Pat, I'm sure you're telling the truth. I'm sure you submitted this. But whatever's, this would have been perfect, to come to the board before the project started. Describe, the steps you guys are taking. We could have all asked questions, and then as this thing started, I think we'd all been in a better spot.
So let's do this, let's set up, weekly check-ins, is that cool? Can we set up weekly check-ins, and then that way, we could tell you what we're doing, rearview mirror, and what's in front of us, and then we'll just, have that constant communication with you in order to make sure that you know where we're going and all of that. You can see on the maps, phase 1, 2, 3, you can see all of that, but then sometimes, inclement weather, like yesterday, our guys wasn't out there, right? So then everything is pushed one more day, and then, if it rained tomorrow, they're not out there, but.
For the record, we did ask for that in
then
May.
it'll get us there.
For the record, we asked for that in May. You guys still didn't do it.
And that's the common theme, Pat. I think we all deal with that, right? We don't have control. You're obviously out there not replacing the lines. Maybe you are, maybe you're not, but it's the communication that's key. And letting us know if there is a problem, there is a delay. People may not like it, but at least they get some information. They don't come here blind, wondering what's happening next, seeing paint on their. We are getting so many calls now about routine markings on ground, just silly lawn tech type thing. People are like, oh my God, Nightcare's gonna tear up my ground, because of this, constant. We've been talking about this at 3 or 4 meetings in a row, and that's, I think, the key is just, let's get the communication.
Let's get and I understand that, and again, we don't want, me, I do not want to cause you any heartache, right? And I want to make sure that, there is transparency. Us sending out those letters, we're thinking everybody have it, right?
Yeah.
But we don't know if they don't have it until they tell us,
Right.
until they make that phone call. Sometimes, yes, we understand calling into the 888 number. We know you got to sit there for a while. We get that, but every single one of our clerks know exactly where we are, and if they don't know, then they have homework to do. If they can't get to their system, they have homework to do in order to send it over to individuals like, to Josh, myself, and then, sending it over to everyone that can answer those questions, and then we make that personal contact. I did, go through my emails, and I did see that from, I think it was January, I would say. I think it was like January. I think I've had 6. And so I understand that you're indicating that there were multiple residents, but I went all the way back to November, and all I have is 6. So if there's more, please bring them to my attention, because the last thing that.
How many
we
emails
want
did you
for
see from me?
Pardon?
How many emails do you have from me? I have every one of them logged.
Oh, we have multiple from you, but it was regarding the 1 or 2 addresses. So it's not, that you're talking about a whole block.
That's
We're
not true.
talking About 2.
That's not true.
So whether we can go back and forth, but if you would like to have a personal meeting, we're more than happy to do that.
I've
But
requested
let's
it. It
just
took 2 months for you guys to get.
Let's do this. We'll make sure that you guys, have the weekly meetings. I don't know what day is, what time is best for you. We'll work that out. I'll send you an email, let you know what that is. Is it 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning? We'll make sure that we'll do that.
All right, I think we browbeated the fact that we don't get communication, our residents don't communication. You understand that?
I get it.
Okay, and you're gonna work better with our village staff and with our residents, and we will measure that. We do have the ultimate authority, I would assume, by issuing permits. We don't have to issue them if you're not doing the job to our standards. All right, let's move on. Thank you for your presentation.
No problem.
Okay? All right, we have number 8 on the agenda is the 2025 audit presentation by Baker Tully. Can you carry your conversation in the hallway? Can you move to the hallway? Yes, sir.
Hi, Mayor.
Hi.
Board.
How are you?
Good. My name is Joe Lightcap. I'm Managing Director with Baker Tilly, and I'm here to discuss a little bit about the 2025 financial audit for the village. I have 2 documents that I'll go over tonight, the Annual Comprehensive Financial Report and the Audit Results Letter. I'll go over it at a very high level, but feel free to stop me at any time and ask any questions you might have as I go along. First off, I'd like to thank the Finance Department for all their help during the audit. We ask a lot of questions, we ask for a lot of information, and the Finance Department is always very good at getting us what we need in a very timely manner. I think the audit opinion date, it was about June 23rd, probably the earliest we've dated our opinion and presented the financial statements. So very good work being done this year. I'm happy to report that it was a good process. As for the annual comprehensive financial report, as the name suggests, this is a comprehensive document. It's more comprehensive than what is required by accounting standards, and just shows the village's dedication to transparency in financial reporting. There's a lot of more information in this report than is required, as I mentioned, including some narratives in the beginning about the village's controls and budgeting process. And then in the back of the report, there's some good 10-year trend information where you can see really how the village has done over the last 10 years financially. We once again issued a clean or unmodified opinion on the village's financial statements. It's the highest level of assurance you can get from your outside auditor, and states that the information presented is reasonable in all material respects and can be reasonably relied upon by an outside user of the financial statements. Once again, we did not audit the Oak Lawn Library. That was audited by other auditors whose information we bring into the report. There were no new significant accounting policies adopted during the year. This report looks very consistent with what you've seen in the past. So the form and function and where things are is very consistent, as the numbers change, of course. I always like to point out a good spot for you to go if you only have 10, 15 minutes to figure out what happened in the finances in comparison to the prior year. And that's on page 4, the management's discussion and analysis. This is a high-level overview written by management, really gives their perspective on what happened during the year. So it puts a lot of the technical detail stuff in the rest of the report into much easier to read, better plain English language instead of accounting standards, accounting language, the rest of the report. a couple of financial highlights. We look at the village in a couple of different ways. One is a long-term perspective where we look at all your capital assets, your long-term liabilities, so your debt and your net pension liabilities. For governmental activities, which is your normal operating funds, net position increased by about $1 million. Your business type activities, which is mainly your water and sewer fund, increased by about $8.3 million. So this long-term increase in net position over this year and trending is what you want to see. You want to see that go in a positive direction. We also look at things at a short-term perspective, where it's just current inflows, current disbursement, current receipts. From that perspective, the government funds fund balance decreased by about 1.3 million. A lot of that had to do with some good capital improvement work that was being done at the village during the year. The general fund still has about 3.2 months in reserves, so some still good reserves at the end of the year for the general fund. And then on the police and fire pension, we also have financial statements for those two pension funds included. Net position at the end of the year, 12/31/25, was about $219 million and increased by about $28.4 million from the prior year. So your pension funds really increased. We had good economic times in 2025 and in 2024 as well. So you earned a lot of good interest. The balances of those funds increased in addition to the increased funding that the village continues to do for the pension funds. After that financial information is the notes to the financial statements, which gives you a lot of detail on how some of these balances increased or decreased, and some of the accounting policies and procedures of the village. And then after that, there's the budgetary schedule for the general fund, about 7 pages of detail where you can see what did the village plan at the beginning of the year to happen, and how did the financial results compare to that plan. So some good information there that you can see the actual results and kind of look to the future and what you want to do. Before I go to the second report, I'll take a quick pause to see if there are any questions on the financial statements of the village.
Any questions?
Not
Okay,
right now.
proceed.
Okay. The other report is really our audit results. So we're required by the audit standards to discuss a few things with the village and those charged with the management and those charged with governance every year. Really talks about our responsibilities as your auditors, management's responsibilities over the financial statements and internal controls. If there were any significant changes to our audit plan, disagreements, any areas of concerns, we would note that in this letter. This letter is very much a boilerplate letter. There's no areas of concern, big issues noted. Everything is pretty much standard as you would hope for and you would expect. We do also look at internal controls of the village and the significant financial transaction cycles. We don't provide an opinion on internal controls, but should we find something that we feel the board should know about or that could potentially cause trouble down the road, we would report that in this letter. Happy to report once again that we have no internal control comments for the board in this letter. Finally, as I mentioned, we work with management throughout the audit process to perform the audit and compile the annual comprehensive financial report, but we ultimately work for the board. Should you ever have any questions, not only when I'm up here once a year, but throughout the year, my contact information is on the first 2 pages, the second page of that report, has my phone number and my email should you need anything. So with that, I will open it up to any questions on the audit results.
Do we have any questions?
We have to look through this.
All right, it sounds to me like the village is on sound footing, and we're moving forward as a positive city, right?
Yeah.
All right, that's what I want to hear, that's all.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, new business by village trustees. I'm going to start today, give our new trustee an opportunity to listen to the formats. I'm going to start with you, Rep, District 6.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I only have a couple things. We've talked a lot about pie tonight, but I do want to talk a little more about the construction crews that are out there on the streets every day. Some of you may know, right now at my front door, my entire street is torn up. I mean, I am in the middle of it, just like those people. We're on Kilpatrick. these guys are out there working hard every day, and I got to give you a feel-good story for today because it just happened about 4 hours ago, and it really, really made me smile and tell you what kind of people are out here working within our village. I looked out my front window, and there were 3 boys, probably around the age of 10, that put their bikes down and were sitting on the curb watching these construction workers work. All the heavy equipment is moving. Now, it was safe. There's 2 men down 8 feet in a hole, and these kids are sitting back and looking, and no electronic devices, no at home playing video games. They're out here on their bikes and just watching construction work. So I'm standing out there talking to the construction manager in our engineering firm, and one of the construction guys goes over to the 3 boys, says, "Come on over here." He hands them each a shovel and, and lets them throw some rocks into the hole, and you think they just got a Christmas present. So I work for Mars, and I ran inside and I grabbed some M&Ms and Skittles from work and went out there, and I said, "Here's your guys' pay." And so these are the people that are working in Oak Lawn every day in our community, and they're out there, 100-degree heat. You know, I brought out water and stuff. They've got cool water already out there, but they're out there doing a great job. They're ahead of schedule. You know, unlike I hear, you know, the issues we're having with Nicor, these guys are knocking on doors, you know, saying, "Hey, water's going to be off for 2 hours, 4 hours." They're doing all their due diligence. Bill Meyer and his staff that are working with these guys, we're getting things done that people aren't going to know about that are saving the village money in the long run. We've got holes open up 8, 10, 12 feet down in the ground, and there's an opportunity to change a valve that's damaged or whatever it might be, and these guys let our village guys know. They bring the valve out, they change the valve. That could cost us tens of thousands of dollars later and tearing up the streets and everything, but they're working with our village team to get these things done. You know, I could go on with more and more stories just because I'm in the middle of it, so I see and know a lot more. I'm at the bi-weekly meetings with our internal team and our contractors and everybody, but this is a feel-good story. And the fact that that filled up yesterday and my phone blew up with videos and pictures of everybody telling me, "Look at this, look at this." And again, people are like, this is exactly what it's supposed to do. It worked exactly how it's supposed to work. All that water that was in there wasn't in people's backyards, basements, wherever it might be. And we're not done yet. We're only to Kilbourne right now, almost to Kenneth. So it's got to go all the way to Kedvale, and then it'll be fully functional. But the fact that this all happened yesterday before the meeting, got to see everything that happened, was truly incredible. So I just wanted to put that out there and, you know, thank Bill and his team for all they're doing, along with our contractors, our engineers. Tim, who was up here, I do get calls once in a while about, okay, something happened over here. I let Tim know, and he's there 5 minutes later, and people call me back. They're like, "Wow, he right over here." I'm like, "Well, that's what we're supposed to do." So, you know, we got a couple more months to go to get through this, but, you know, I ask all the residents in the district and everybody living through it like I am, just be patient. We're getting there. One last thing on a very, very, very sad note. This week in St. Catharines over in District 6, we had the tragic loss of a 17-year-old boy who had a devastating accident that took his life. Our community came together in a way that shows me exactly why I live in Oak Lawn and why I live where I live. We had thousands of people go through St. Catharines on Thursday, and the funeral on Friday. The procession, I talked to the police chief, was probably about 2 miles long. And our police department did a great job of managing the traffic, you know, while still managing everything else within the village. But again, as a community, this is when Oak Lawn shines. The support shown by everybody throughout this town, our district, our community was unbelievable. But I did especially want to thank our police department for what they did. We got lots of comments on how nice it was that, you know, they were there to help with traffic control and keep everything going. But again, my thoughts and prayers are out to the Noonan family. And, you know, as a community, we'll all get through this together. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, trustee. District 5, Bud?
It's real hard to follow. I don't think I will. I don't have anything else to add. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee 3, Paul?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a few things. Just an invite for those that are here and those that are listening on TV. This Tuesday, National Night Out. Nationally, it's something that happens. Chief Kehoe, Chief Vittorio will be out there. Chief, does it start at 6 o'clock, 5:30?
5:30 to 6 is for auditory.
Okay, yeah, I know we've done that before. We have like a sensory-friendly session, which starts at 5:30. Correct. So 5:30 to 6, and then from 6 to 8 then that evening. So please join us out there. The fire department will be out there. The police department will be out there. I don't know if these two chiefs will be getting in the dunk tank or not, but we'll see if we can make that happen.
Right, Paul?
So, what's that?
It's on the green?
It's on the green, yes. It's right out here behind the hospital, or the library. So, you know, please join us, and I'm sure lots of free things will be handed out, and it'll be a good time. So, secondly, the concert on the green, we had one this last Sunday. We have 2 more left in August. One is August 16th, and one is August 30th. Please join us for those that we had an amazing turnout at last Sunday's concert, and it's just, again, it's a feel-good thing for our community. Our community's out there. You know, there's more talking than listening, I think. Sometimes you see these groups that get out there, but it is nice for our community, and it's nice to see that we keep doing that. So please join us for those concerts. Lastly, I'd like to give kudos to Trustee Olenichek. We had a barbecue, a village barbecue, a few weeks ago for staff, for the police department, the fire department, public works, water, all the staff inside, and he put us all to work. And everybody still has their fingers, but we made it through. And but Trustee Olenichek put this together, organized it, and it was very well received by the village. So thank you to him for making that happen, and we look forward to the next one. That ends my report.
You can do the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. District 2, Alex?
Yeah, well, I since you brought up, thank you for all the support that we got for this board here to serve a lunch to our workforce that we're truly gifted to have the people that work in Oak Lawn, that care about the residents, that do the job day in. So it was a pleasure to be able to cook some burgers and some Italian sausage and some hot dogs and be able to thank the workforce, which, by the way, if you take a look at this spring and summer, they've been doing a very good job under some very difficult circumstances. When you see what Public Works has gone through with the weather, and when you see what our dispatch, our fire, our police, all working together when the emergencies hit, it doesn't happen without a lot of people working and doing a good job. So I just think it's good to thank the people that make us look good every day, and they're well received. But it was very important seeing the whole village board out there supporting this whole thing. So thank you on that. And just real quick, St. Catherine starts the summer off with their carnival, and St. Gerald's finishes their the summer off with their carnival. And our carnival is going to be August 6th through the 9th. So if you're looking for some fun and some good bands and a nice time, please come out and enjoy that. And then also make sure you come out and enjoy the concerts on the green, because you guys have done a great job with the special events, making a really good venue. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, Alex. I tell you, when we were out there with that bar, get a smaller grill. That had about 400 cases of charcoal in there. We couldn't even get near it. It was 95 degrees out. My fingers are still raw from flipping burgers.
I will have to tell you that we used some, what was that, hickory or oak? That was the hottest coals I've ever used. It was very hot.
Yeah, it was terrible. But it was well received, and we all ate and had a good time.
Yes.
Thank you. And I want to comment on the concerts, too. I was at the last concert. I tell you what, the green was pretty much full. and I saw people out there picnicking with their families. They brought their food. It's a great contribution you make, Paul, to the village, but organizing all that with your committees. So I want to thank you for that, and I look forward to the next two. All right, we're going to move on to District 1, our new trustee. Good luck, buddy.
Yes.
And all of that.
Well, I want to start by thanking you, Mr. Mayor, for recommending me to the board to be appointed for District 1 trustee. I also wanted to thank the board for your vote of confidence and approval and accepting me as District 1 trustee. It really is an honor to have the opportunity to serve the residents of Oak Lawn. It is a new role for me, so anybody in my district, please just bear with me for a little bit, but it's happening quick, and I'm learning pretty quickly, so thank you for that. For those that are here that are listening that just want to know a little bit about me, I have been an Oak Lawn resident for almost 20 years now. Proud to call Oak Lawn my home, raising a family here. I have a wife of 17 years. We have 3 young boys. They attend St. Gerald's, and my wife is also a teacher there. She's been a dedicated teacher for about the last 20 years now at the Catholic schools, and like I said, she's currently teaching at St. Gerald's now. Just a little background on myself. I did serve in the Army for 23 years. I served from May of 2002 to May of 2025. I spent about 8 years on active duty, with the remaining of those years spent in the Army Reserves. My 3 major roles in the military were I was a chemical operations specialist, I served as a drill sergeant, and I finished my career as a retention NCO. Currently, I work for the Chicago Transit Authority. I've worked there for about 18 years now. I'm Local 9 electrician. I just work on maintaining the power system for the third rail. Run substation cables, things like that. Other than that, thank you again for your trust and confidence. I'm excited to learn everything I can from this board, from the mayor, and to serve at the pleasure of the residents of Oak Lawn.
Thank you, sir, and welcome aboard.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I'm sure first off, I had well-qualified applicants that I interviewed, okay, and it was a tough decision because they were well-qualified, but you were the best qualified, in my opinion.
Thank you.
So welcome to the board, and we'll move on, and you'll represent that district well, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, village manager's report.
Nothing this evening.
Good, we'll go on to the consent agenda now. All items on the, all items on the
No
consent.
offense taken.
Okay. Listen, we're an hour, 2 hour and a half into the meeting. Usually we get 6 meetings in this much time. All right, all items on the consent agenda are routine and brought forward at the direction of the Board of Trustees, village manager, or village committees, and will be enacted with one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from consent agenda and considered separately. A, approval of the regular meeting minutes of 2026-12 dated June 23rd, 2026. B, request the Board of Trustees approval of the St. Gerald's Holy Name Society Carnival to be held August 6th through the 9th, 2026 at 9310 South 55th Court, and to waive the village resource fees of $4,979.04. C, request Board of Trustees approval and direction to the Fire and Police Commission to hire 1 firefighter paramedic from the current eligibility list due to a retirement. D, request Board of Trustees approval of a Traffic and Safety Commission 4.04 to 3 vote recommending a 4-way stop sign at 104th Street and Keating Avenue. And E is ordinance 2613-35 authorizing no signs. F, ordinance 2613-36, an ordinance amending Title III Business and License Regulations, Chapter 12, Alarm Services regarding the security fogger system. G is ordinance 2613-37, an ordinance approving a term sheet with PNC Bank National Association with respect to $6 million original principal amount at Waterworks and Sewage Revenue Bond Series 2019 of the Village of Oak Lawn, Cook County, Illinois, and related amendments. H, ordinance 26-13-38, an ordinance amending Title III Business and License Regulations, Chapter 2, Municipal Occupational Taxes, Section 3-2-7, Real Estate Transfer Tax of the Village of Oak Lawn Code relative to to the senior citizen real estate transfer tax exemption. I, ordinance 261339, an ordinance amending Title III Business and License Regulations, Chapter 1, General Provisions for Business Certificates, Licenses, and Permits of the Oaklawn Village Code relative to business and other licensing and regulations. J, ordinance 26-13-40, an ordinance amending various sections of Title III, this is the Business and License Regulations of the Village of Oaklawn Code relative to liquor control and video gaming. Ordinance 2613-41, an ordinance approving a new combined employee policies and benefits handbook and authorizing the provision of the policies and benefits provided for therein. L, Resolution 26-13-57, a resolution approving change order number 4, resulting in a net increase in cost of $44,953 for work related to the Polaris Water Detention Project. M, Resolution 26-13-58, a resolution adopted the findings and recommendations concerning the village business regulation certificate issued to Golden Orange LLC, doing business as Orange Massage, for the premise located at 10220 South Cicero Avenue, Unit 101, Oak Lawn, Illinois. And Resolution 2613-59, a resolution waiving competitive bidding and approving an amendment to a service agreement with Andy Frayne Services Incorporated for crossing guards and special event personnel services for the 2026-2027 school year. O, Resolution 26-13-60, a resolution waiving competitive bidding and approving an agreement with Passport Labs Incorporated for payment processing services related to the Village of Oaklawn commuter parking facility. P, Resolution 26-13-61, a resolution approving and authorizing the execution of 5 change order requests with harbor contractors for the construction at the Joint Public Works and Oaklawn Regional Emergency Communication, ORIC 911 Center. Q, Resolution 26-13-62, a resolution approving the construction of a single-family residence at 9347 South 55th Avenue under the OAK program, authorizing a project-specific agreement with Leaside Builders Incorporated in the amount not to exceed $480,000. And our Resolution 26-13-63, a resolution approving the legal service agreement with David Grossman and Associations, PLLC, for representation on the village in connection with the PFAS litigation.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to pull H for discussion.
H for discussion. Okay, we're voting on everything except for H. Roll call, please.
Trustee Oliniechek?
Yes.
Trustee Mallow?
Yes.
Trustee Stalker?
Yes.
Trustee Warren?
Yes.
Trustee Sock?
Yes.
Motion passes. H is ordinance 26-13-38, an ordinance amending Title III Business and License Registrations, Chapter 2 Municipal Occupational Taxes, Section 327, Real Estate Transfer Tax of the Village of Oaklawn Village Code relative to senior citizen real estate transfer tax exception. Discussion?
I'm in favor of this. I'm going to be voting for it, but I want to thank staff for finally addressing something that for years I think should have been addressed. And it's basically the transfer stamp process. We're proposing a change in the ordinance to move sellers that meet the senior criteria for reimbursement to just be exempt from the start of the process. So before you'd have to pay and then you'd get it rebated back at the end of the sale. Now you don't have to pay. You're just exempt from the process of real estate transfer, correct?
That's correct.
Very simple, common sense. It's about time because I'm a senior citizen, so I may be needing that. But no, I appreciate that, and that's good governance, and thanks for getting that done.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, we got a second. Roll call on H.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Warren.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Motion approved. Village clerk's report.
A is disbursement resolution number 2026-13D dated July 14th, 2026, in the amount of $6,513,202.34.
Motion
please.
approve.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Warren.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Motion passes.
B is disbursement resolution number 2026-14D dated July 28th, 2026, in the amount of $6,783,410.77.
Motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Warren.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
Motion passes. All right, it's the village president's report. Listen, tonight, a lot of positive things have been said about the village of Oak Lawn, and I can't agree more. I don't want to elaborate on it. My tongues are tied from all the talking tonight. Anyway, it was all a good job, and I'm proud to be the mayor of this fine village. So we'll move on to the executive session. It's number 2026-05 for the purpose of discussion one. The closed meeting minutes of 2026-02 dated March 10th, 2026. 2026-3 dated April 14th, 2026. And 2026-04 dated June 23rd, 2026. And conduct a review of certain closed session minutes for release. And 3, settlement of a claim. Motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Trustee Oliniechek.
Yes.
Trustee Mallow.
Yes.
Trustee Stalker.
Yes.
Trustee Warren.
Yes.
Trustee Sack.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. I want to thank everybody from coming out. We're going to go into an executive session, which is just the Board of Trustees.